Well, hello, this is Mike Jacko with Real Estate Promo in Manrio with another Flip It Friday video for you guys. And this week I wanted to talk about subject twos. And in fact, I just stopped at this beautiful location here. I'm at the Valley of Fire, Valley of Fire National Park, just outside of Las Vegas, Nevada. And you guys can see that it's a beautiful sunset here. So if you've never seen the Valley of Fire, I would recommend you getting out here sometime and coming out and checking it out. It's a long road. It's through the National State Park. It's out by Lake Mead, and it's just beautiful out here this evening at sunset. But I stopped and wanted to talk to you guys about subject twos. And subject twos it's one of those kind of controversial topics these days. And it's really interesting because I go to some groups and the group leaders and a lot of the people there are doing subject twos. They have no problem. They understand them. They're comfortable with them. And their members are doing a lot of subject to deals. But I've also been speaking at some groups lately where I've just mentioned the word subject to and they all freak out. Going, oh no, you can't do that. Or they'll start asking all kinds of questions that, to me are kind of basic and to most of us are kind of basic. Because there's a lot of misconceptions about subject to out there. And, basically when it comes down to subject to, the lender has, if you take over a loan, you take over a seller's loan, keep it in their name, and you just start making the mortgage payments on that, that's a transfer of ownership. So they sold you the property, but the loan stayed in their name. So that's a transfer of ownership. And in the mortgages, there's an acceleration clause or what's called a due on sale clause in the mortgages. Now, that acceleration or due on sale clause gives the lender the right to call the loan due, but they don't generally call the loan due. I think they might start calling them due, sometime in the future, but interest rates are going to have to dramatically increase for the lenders to start doing it. In fact, that's why they implemented the subject to, 20 or 30 years ago, is because interest rates were getting so high that people weren't paying off the loans. They were just doing subject twos. They were doing, back then we were doing assumptions, because loans are fully assumable without qualifying. So we were assuming the loans, we were doing contract for deeds, all kinds of different things. And the lenders had no recourse. And the loans, those lower interest rate loans were staying out there as interest rates were climbing, getting up into the teens. They even got up into the 20s for a while. That's where the lenders came out and said, or created the due on sale clause, what we call the subject to. So if we take over a loan subject to the existing financing, that would be a due on sale or an acceleration clause triggerable event. But the lender doesn't have to call the loan due. They just have the right to call the loan due. So they typically don't. So I want to start talking more and more about that because that's how I buy most of my properties again these days. I'm not buying from the banks. I'm buying directly from the sellers, and most of the time I'm taking over an existing loan. And we're starting to see more and more of those types of transactions all over the country where the sellers are getting in those situations now where it makes sense for them to sell us the properties and let us take over the existing financing, either because of low to no equity in the properties or for other reasons where they just simply cannot sell the traditional way. Maybe it needs a lot of work or something like that. So let me hear your guys' comments down in the comment section below, and let's get a discussion started and see if we can help some people dispel those myths or ease your fears when it comes to subject twos. And if you haven't already, you should probably subscribe, hit the subscribe button, so that whenever I post any new videos on here, you'll also get notified as soon as I post them. So thanks, and we'll see you guys back here next week for another Flip It Friday video.